Okay, so it's 4:43 on the 29th. And today, man, yesterday kicked my motherfucking ass. I swear to God, I could. Oh my God. For one thing, this first dog we did was, oh my God, it was so beautiful. It was this, and she kept saying he's so old. But I was like, dang, this dog looks good. He didn't look old or anything, but solid white. And it was a big, what are they? They're Labradoodles or golden doodles. I think it was the golden mix with the poodle. So I think it was one of those ones. I don't think it was a Labradoodle, but it was one of those dogs. And so it has this total kinky hair. Poodles have the most kinkiest fucking hair. And so they have this super kinky hair and this thick undercoat. And this dog was solid white. It was huge. It was so pretty. Oh my God. And it had this really low key personality. It was just real like kickback. It was so freaking cute. I couldn't even believe it. His name was Bo. I was like, God, he's so cute. And but then washing him and drying him, oh my God. Is it you have to the tub thing that you're washing them in is higher, but you know, the littler dogs, you're bent over it more, but you're over it less time. These big dogs, I have to wash them and dry them in the tub thing because they're too big for the drying table. And so something has to hold them or they'll fall off the table. And anyways, so I'm leaning over this thing all motherfucking day. I swear to God, it kicked my ass. And but when I did that dog, because they're supposed to be hypoallergenic, I got the worst I mean, my eyes, it was like they became so itchy. They became red and like swollen looking. And I was like, oh my God, I think I'm having allergies from this hypoallergenic dog because they push those dogs as being hyperallergenic. I don't think so. Man, and then so from that point on, my nose and my eyes were itching. I was so uncomfortable. I was having to lean over that thing. And this other cute little fucking dog, it was, that one took so long. And then this other one looked exactly like a sheepdog, only little. It wasn't super little, but oh my God, it was so cute. I think its name was Sassy. It was really cute. But she, there's a lot of these dogs, it's like you have to wrestle them. They will twist and turn and do everything. They don't like to get wet and they do not like to get dried. And so you're like wrestling them, trying to dry them, and you got to dry all the hair to get really straight and then separate all the hair so that they can see, because well, I didn't know how grooming worked. But so they come in and they have like a, you know, like you have your card that says what your hair color, what your hairstyle, whatever. You have your card that says, so it says, you know, like they're supposed to be a 3 on the top, a 5 on the head, a 1 on the legs, whatever. It has the whole thing. So they go in and they do that. Then they have to clean their ears. They have to cut their toenails. They have to clean the fur is all grown up in here too. And so there's all this cleaning and getting everything prepped. And then you have to go wash them. Then you have to dry them, and you have to dry them so that all the hair comes out and is all separated. So then they can go in and do all this finishing and make everything like perfect. I'm telling you, it's tedious as fuck. And I don't know. Groomers should be paid a lot. It's so fucking tedious, and it's hard work, and it is. Dogs don't like it. You are wrestling them the whole time. The groomer's having to wrestle the ones while she's sitting there trying to come clip her hair and stuff too. It's a fucking wrestle. And she's always telling me all this stuff like, I knew she wanted to like apprentice me, which would be a good opportunity for somebody who wanted to do that, to be able to learn by somebody, especially she's been doing it like 60 years or something. So it's a good opportunity, but it's just like, it's not my passion. I find it tedious and But, you know, she'll be like, oh, I know I trained a girl and she makes money just doing these ones. Because then the next one was not an Australian Shepherd. That black and white one, those dogs are so pretty and so smart. They're sheep herding dogs or something. And I can't think of what they're called, but they're so pretty. And that beautiful long coat. And, but so the ones with these long coats, you have to wash them. You do all this stuff. You wash them and then they don't do any prepper beforehand, but it takes a long time to dry all this long hair, and you're doing it all bent over the sink thing. And it was like, oh my God. And then you're wrestling the dog the whole time. They're spinning, they're doing everything, trying to climb out. It's like, oh my God. And my eyes were, and I was like starting to get starving feeling. I was like, I felt weak, I felt beat down. And then that motherfucking radio. I swear to God, I do not understand how anyone can listen to this shit. Oh, choose to listen to it. Like, choose, like, that's what I want to listen to. Tune in. I could not believe song after song after song after song. You're not worthy. You're a big piece of shit. You're lucky that God will even look at you, you rotten son of a bitch. It's like, I couldn't believe it. The whole motherfucking time. It was like, man, this is quite the beatdown, dude. Like, Jesus Christ, just nonstop. You're not worthy. You're not worthy. You're not worthy. Jesus is the only way. You're nothing if you don't have Jesus. I was like, well, that is some fucking shit, man. And it was really like making me want to, you know, say the stuff I believe. It's just like, this is some fucking nonsense. But then you can't, because people who are not on that vibration don't understand what the fuck you're saying. And when they're on the vibration of, you know, Jesus is the only way, and I'm a rotten piece of shit without him, and luckily Jesus saved me because I don't know how to save myself, and all that stuff is like, it's so out of alignment with how I look at life and how I think and what I believe. I felt out of alignment from that when I was young. And I've always stayed kind of more distant. There was a period of time when my kids were young, and I thought, you know, the world's crazy. What do you do? Well, I grew up in the church. Maybe we need to have them go, let's start going to church. And maybe that would be, give our kids more connection to themselves or something, you know? And so I would start going to, what is it called? It was a certain church. This was a long while ago too, because I'm sure there's more churches that accept gay people. But this was a church that accepted gay people. It's called something, some denomination. I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, I was like, well, I want to go to this one because, yeah, I think that's absurd. Some of the stuff that they find reasons to hate people and to say, well, you're going to hell. It's like, it's so fucking controlling. I just can't even get over it. And so, anyways, we went and started going. We went for a few weeks. But I was like, I can't handle it. Church is not my thing. And, but my husband that I raised the kids with, we were very different. We still are. We were just so, like, it's so weird sometimes when I look back. When you get forward and you look backward, it's just like, how did I ever get there? Like, what? You know, it's weird. It's like, who was I? Like, how did I find myself right there? It's so weird. But because we were not in alignment. We're so opposite. We are not alike. And it's so weird. And there's something that's brought this to my mind recently. But so I was super spiritual, but it was very much like, you know, I'm just a kook. It's always been, I'm a kook. It's been ever since I left the church. There's Kelly the kook. And so it's been a lot of decades. But this person was somebody who only believes in the science. You know, you die and you just disappear. You just disappear. It's like, well, then what's got you alive? It's like, ask the questions. But they come up with weird shit. Like, it's just this weird fluke that you feel alive, but then you die and you cease to exist. It's like, that has got to be a real weird way to live. But, and I feel sorry for people who do. Because when they go through loss, it's really hard hitting. But, you know, we're all here to learn at our level that we are at. And so, but it was weird too, is because I had said, before we got married, I said, I want to have a relationship. He wanted to get married. And I said, well, I want the relationship to be built off of spirituality. It's got to be a spiritual connection for me. And this was when I was in my late 20s. And it was a spiritual connection, but it was me running from the devil, basically. It was me running from myself. Because I did not love myself enough, and it was the battle. And it's still, this person would still tell me today that they know me better than I know myself. It's like, well, you'd like to think so. That's your ego talking. But and your disconnect from who I am. Because when I'm saying who I am, and you're telling me that's not who I am, who's wrong here? So, anyways, there is, but I had wanted to have this more deeper relationship where we talked about things on a deeper level, you know, and we really were more reflective in the relationship and really trying to do our best and stuff. Well, it didn't. It was very different than that. And still is. It has been a rough fucking night, man. So anyway, she's right on top of me right here. Whenever she's not feeling good, she's very needy to her mama. So she's right on top of me. And there was a lot of times at night where she'd jump up and like, it sounds like a screaming to me, but it's moaning or groaning or whatever, but it's, I swear to God, she wants me to know. Because then if I get up, she starts wagging her tail like, oh yay, it worked. I'm dragging ass, like, yeah, it worked. What do you want? And so, last night was rough, man. It's so crazy because the moment I lay down, it's like instantaneously I'm in this other world. It's like I'm deeply gone from this one into another one really quick. And then anything that makes a noise or a sound or discomfort, it sucks me back real quick, and it's very jarring. And that's when I'll realize, like, fuck, man, I wasn't even here. I didn't even know I was asleep yet. And then, so sometimes I'll try and lay there and just keep watching her until she'll go to sleep. But even if I do that, then as soon as I relax and shut my eyes, then it's like, boom. So it was that over and over and over last night. And I was like, fuck, man. It just makes me feel like a zombie. I feel so fucking out of it. And then on top of that, my body, I was so uncomfortable. I was so fucking uncomfortable. I'd taken off, I couldn't get the ones off my thumb because I can't even use them. I can't spread them to get them off, and they won't go from my fucking swollen ass joints. But I'd taken these other ones off. And then but I don't know if that added to my discomfort. But then I put it back on this morning, and I was like, fuck, maybe it'll help. I put the anklets on, which I don't know if you can see that. Oh, I was gonna I could lift my leg and show the anklet. But I could take it off probably and show that, because I had those bracelet ones, but those were really heavy. And so I decided, well, I'm just gonna get an anklet. And then I don't know if I even already showed these. Fuck if I know. I'm fucking lost in this world, I swear to God. But anyways, so I decided to get anklets to put on there. And it's not so much that just my feet hurt all the time or something. I did have a place that Stella had stepped on my foot, and it, whatever damage it did, it wasn't healing. For years and years and years, it was a hurt. Like I can put on some shoes and it will just hurt. And then she has re-stepped on it, this exact same place over and over and over. And so I was like, well, it should help that. Maybe it'll help the healing. But I have this idea in my head somehow that this drinking this copper and having this copper throughout my body, it creates like an electrical current to keep the energy or something moving through my body. It could be just, I am kind of crazy. So, but anyways, that's in my head. But so I got this one. I always get heart stuff because my last name. And, but it is pretty heavy. And see, it has these not batteries, magnets. And so, since I'm not positive what the deal is about the magnets, is, I think it is to pull the toxins or something and to move the current. So anyways, it makes sense to me to put them, at the top and the bottom. I'm not wearing a crown of copper, but I'm drinking it. So, oh man, there's hair in my mouth, hair in my eyes. And today I've got things to do. I gotta go, I'm taking my car in to get looked over before this road trip thing, because I've got the road trip going there, but then after that, I may be going to this other place that's further, which the whole thing is kind of stressing me out over Stella, because even me leaving, once she goes upstairs, the only way for her to go to the bathroom, she's got to go down these stairs. So once she gets up there to my mom's, then, because that's one thing I like about down here, is street level. She didn't have to do any stairs. And so when she's having these inflammations, even at the tiniest little step, because stepping out of the garage onto the ground, she'll be like, oh. And she was having the inflammation before she fell, and she's fell a lot of times lately. And so I know that she's just, her back could be hurting, her hips, everything, but I know she's like just getting weaker as she gets older too. I just want these fucking med bed things to fucking come. But in the ones that really would just go in one time, that's the ones I want. But I would want, the vibration system in my house. I would like one of those vibration systems in a room where I went in and meditated or whatever. So but once I leave, so, because I was trying to discuss it with my mom last night, so should I leave Tuesday evening, go spend the night at my daughter's, because we got to go to the airport at 4 in the morning, or do I stay here, get up? So it's going to interfere with my videoing. That's for sure. So maybe I'll do one the night before I go to bed, then I'll do one. But then there's going to be my travel day. And then that night, I don't know, because it's going to be kind of chaotic. But I'm going to stay at my brother's. And so, because him and I were having fun in the evening time, we would sit and watch a scary movie together. It was like when we were kids. And he was even saying, he would ask them, like, where's that girl that I watched the movies with? Because he couldn't remember my name. And so he was looking forward to it each night. He'd be like, where'd that girl go? We watched the movies. So anyways, I want to do that again. So I don't know that I would be able to go out in the evening and record, but I get up so early compared to everybody else. I always get up before everybody else. Even though now when I go, there's going to be this whole other family staying there, so there could be people who get up. But I was thinking that would be when I'll record again, like early in the morning. So it would be, Wednesday we get there, so it'd be Thursday morning. So it'd be next Thursday morning. So it'd be Tuesday in the evening sometime I'll try and record. Then Wednesday I probably won't have any time all that day. And then Thursday morning I will when I get up. And then hopefully Friday morning, Saturday. And then it should be kind of more regular for those days. And then I'll have my other travel day. And then the next day, then I have another travel day. And then when I get there, though, I'll have that, I'm just dog sitting, so I'll have 5 dogs that I'll be having. And so I will have all day, so I'll just be able to record whenever. So I'll record that day, which they have those cameras in their house, which I feel like saying, can you turn the cameras off? I don't know. What, they can listen to me, whatever. But so I'll record those days. And so the days I'm there. Then when they get back, then I'm going to have another travel day to go to another place. And then once I get there, then it's going to kind of be rushed because I'm just going there to check and kind of to check the drive and the, you know, like what the deal is if this is where I'm going. And so, so then once I get back, or then I have another travel day to travel back here. And the thing is Stella with her back, so she can't, when she's not doing well, she cannot handle stairs, which is that's going to kick her ass those 5 days while I'm gone. She's got to go up and down the stairs, go potty. And then to drive in the car. So it's just all this driving in the car, the steps and everything is stressing me out. And but it keeps going in my mind, like also like, when will I record? When will I do this? When will I do that? And so, anyways, that's what I'm talking about it. And so, I feel, I don't know, there's like a tension in the air, anyways, like, or an excitement or something, because I know we're in this time where things are about to change. We've come and gone with a lot of dates, but I really feel like that there's a lot leading into this September. And that there's going to be a lot of stuff. Like there's, I wanted to say something about this dream though last night. So I was having these weird dreams always. This weird stuff where a lot of times where it's like they're showing me stuff, and then I'll see like, oh, it's like teaching you something by showing you something. And that is kind of like this telepathy or whatever. Like I said, it's kind of like seeing a story or something and being shown something. It's not just like talking to you. There's words that come, and sometimes you hear just talking, but it's not like a whole thing. There's like all different things, and a lot of times you're shown things and then you see them and you just understand them. And sometimes you'll be shown things and you'll be looking at them and you'll be trying to understand it, and then you'll start to understand it. Like, oh, this isn't what I'm seeing. This is showing me something else. Like it can be showing you balance over something. It's weird. But that's, you know, for each person to have to translate or decipher for themselves. But it can be weird, for sure. But my dreams have been weird for a few years now like that. Where I felt like I was in a class or being taught something, but in these weird, like it just is weird. Because I can go into it, like be in this movie, and then get woke up, go right back, be in the same, it's weird. I'm just having weird shit. But last night, this was weird. And they keep also being like, I'm not asleep. Like I'll feel like I'm up. Like it feels like it's really happening. And this one last night, so it was, and there was periods of time in the thing I would think, okay, I'm dreaming. Okay, I'm dreaming. This is a dream. But it was so, oh my God, this was so creepy. And I don't remember the whole thing. I remember something was going on, but the sky keeps being weird. There keeps being weird shit. And then on TikTok and stuff, there's constant, the aliens are coming and all this stuff. So you have these things going in your mind, I guess. But so I was looking out at the sky, or looking outside, and then I saw this creature like down the driveway, and it was coming. It was like, it wasn't like, because to me, what we call aliens are way more, well, there's all different multidimensional beings, but there's ones that look more like creatures. But there is a lot of aliens are just humanoid other beings from other places. So it's not looking like a monster. But this thing looked like a monster. And so it was coming up the driveway, but it looked kind of like from a 1950s sci-fi horror movie or something. With this ginormous head. It looked like a fucking cracked egg or something. This creepy little face. And it was this huge body, but it was all like entangled. And it moved really weird. And so it's coming up the driveway. And I'm like, fuck. I'm so freaked out. This creature's coming towards me. And I start shutting the garage. And it's getting closer and closer and closer. And then it's like right outside the door. And I'm trying to like peek out the window. I'm trying to get a video of it. So I'm trying to like peek out the window. The dogs are in here and they're being quiet. And they don't know what's going on out there. But then when I look out the window, then I see these other dogs outside. And this creature's not doing anything to these dogs. And these dogs aren't trying to attack this creature. But this creature's like right outside the fucking thing. And oh, I just remembered another thing now in the dream. Because the other garage door had windows. And really in the real garage, only this one has windows. That one, these two don't have windows. And so I'm trying to look out these windows and get this video to see this creature thing. And it's right there. And it's just moving around weird. And it's like looking around. It's so fucking creepy. And so then I go over to the other door. And so this one, I lock it real quiet. Like, I don't even know if there's a lock right there, but it seemed like that there was this thing that I could put across. No, that's not one. So I put this thing across so the door couldn't go up, which I think there is some kind of a lock thing. But anyway, so I put that across and then go over to the other door. Now the dogs have followed me, and now suddenly on the other side of the door is like this screen window thing, which maybe that's because we have a screen over the thing. So in my mind, I put this screen over here next to the door, and it was a window, so it was not all the way up. And the dogs are over there just barking and barking and barking at this thing now. And then there's windows in the door. So I've got my phone thing and I'm trying to get up there and get video. So I'm getting this video of this creature. And then it turns and it is a suit. It's a creature suit. And then as this girl is coming out of this creature suit, it was a shapeshifter. But so this girl's coming out of this creature suit, and then she's wanting help. But now I won't help her because now I think, what in the world, kind of weirdo, goes and puts on an alien suit and walks around like that, and then comes out of it and says they need help. The whole thing was so weird. And then and the dogs are going crazy. And then I think Stella woke me up, so I don't know what happened after that. But it was creepy as fuck. I can't get this creature out of my mind. God, it was so creepy. Having it come up the driveway and come in and you feel like all closed in. Like, where am I going to go? Because it was really creepy. It had such a big fucking head and it had a small face. And it was no hair or anything like that. And then the body, it was like this really big body that was all tangled and moved really creepy. And it moved slow. So it came up the driveway slow. It wasn't like fast moving, which that's another thing too. In different vibrations, things can't move the same as what they could move. So maybe in their vibration, it could move fast, but in our vibration, it could only move slow, which that's kind of weird when you think about that, because in dreams, think about when you're in a dream and you're trying to run and you're trying to run and run, but you can't get very far. You can't get very fast. You're going so slow, but it feels like I'm just running so fast, but you're not getting anywhere. I wonder if that is because we're in this other dimension, in this other realm, and you can't move the same. It doesn't things don't move at the same speed, at the same pace, because the vibration's different. And so, because everything has to do with vibration. Everything has to do with how you focus, what you focus on. Because dreams are a real thing. They aren't just, because, I don't know, when we're kids or when we're young, we're kind of like taught, like, oh, you just go to sleep and you have movies that play in your head. And then you have psychologists say, oh, well, it's just replaying the things that you have on your mind and stuff like that. But then as you I don't know, gain knowledge or get older or start understanding things more, then you start understanding, no, your soul like leaves your body. Your soul is out experiencing other things and going in other realms and stuff. Your soul's not just laying there because your body's asleep. And like I said, I've already come out of my body when my body was asleep. And I didn't die. I just had to go pee. And I got up to go pee, but my body didn't follow. And so when I had gotten up and I was walking, which I wasn't really walking, obviously, because I didn't have feet. So, but it felt like I was walking. In my mind, I looked the same. I was just walking across the room and I was noticing how gray and smoky the room was. And I kept thinking it was so weird how it looked so smoky, but I didn't smell smoke. And then I walked all the way across to get to this bathroom. Once I was in the bathroom, and I can't remember, it seems like I looked at myself and saw myself, but there was some reason I looked back at the bed. And then when I looked back at the bed, I saw myself laying there. And it took me a second to register, but as soon as I realized like I wasn't in my body, it just sucked me back in. It was the weirdest thing because it like went through my feet. It was like a vacuum all of a sudden opened in the bottom of my feet, just sucked me back into my body. And it was the weirdest thing. But anyways, my biggest takeaway was we aren't our body. That we are all the things you think you are, or you're that without your body. So it comes along with you. It's like your DNA coding. It's like the code of you is who you are. And this thing that you're experiencing through is the illusion. It doesn't hold any of your, it doesn't really hold any of your true code or something. Even when they're trying to do all this DNA coding and stuff, they're on such a superficial level. It's like they're not, they have figured out how to capture a certain consciousness, but I still don't, they're not capturing the whole thing. They're not sucking your soul out of heaven and pulling it down into their box. It's like they are taking something and controlling it to contain it, or can contain it so they can control it. And so it's only a part of you. And so it's not the full you. And they still, it's like they don't know how to read code, or they don't really understand the code of who and what you are. And where your code is obtained is throughout your existence. However you see your existence being. If you don't think you've reincarnated, you just think you're out floating in space, learning from others or whatever it is, because that's what gives you a state of consciousness. And then we can see the levels of consciousness in our world right now of how, and that's not to say these people won't become conscious, but there is different levels to how conscious you are. And this world keeps you in a state of being unconscious and stressed so that you can be controlled. And so it's not, but it's not the, but it's like an interference. And, but the conscious being becomes conscious and aware of itself throughout experience. And so you go through experiences, which we would be calling reincarnation. So you go through different experiences to understand yourself of who and what you are, because that is the reflection back to you, is how you behave, what you do, what is your drive, what is, how you act in every situation is the reflection back to you of who you are. Well, that's what writes your code. And so that's where, lots of people have fears and beliefs and things that they think of and stuff, and they don't know where it comes from. It's like, well, where does that come from? I wasn't raised that way. Why would I be scared of that? I've never even been on what are those things called? An air balloon thing. But you could have a horrible fear of being in one. Every time you see those air balloon things, whatever they're called, out there, you have this horrible fear, and just like, it gives you anxiety, and it seems kind of like wacky. Like, why in the world would you be so scared? You've never even been in one of those things. But in your code, because you have been, and you had been in one and it crashed, or one crashed on you, or whatever, you had some experience that it still lingers inside of you, and that is a part of your code. But it's like you can rewrite your codes on some points, because you can reassemble your fears and stuff. But it's like you have to meet them. You have to meet your fear in order to reassemble it, in order to let it go, wave bye-bye. So you have to come back into alliance. You have to come back into giving it consideration, having it be a part of your focus. So that is a big part of the healing and stuff, is to bring things back into your focus. And that's why there's all this crazy stuff going on in the world, to push those things to the surface, because we're all so surface level. And so to push it to the surface so that you can confront it. But the thing is that there's all these firewalls, these fire traps through our civilization that keeps people swimming. And they can't confront certain issues. It's just like swim around them and blame others. And like, there's this video, this guy, I saw the stitch of it. So I saw a girl showing this video and how disgusting it was. And it is. It's like, these people are whacked out. But I've been saying this since I was back on Nextdoor. So that was back in 2020, I think, is when I got kicked off. I got kicked off Twitter. I got kicked off Nextdoor because of saying that they were lying about the sickness. They were lying about how to get fixed and all that shit. And so people were like freaking the fuck out. And you would get kicked off of different social media platforms. On the move. Where are you going, honey? She's always wagging her tail. God, she's so cute. God, I love that girl so much. That's one thing. But she's stinky again. But I was thinking, well, that doesn't necessarily mean she's got something wrong. It just could be because, when somebody has got BO and they take a shower, it doesn't mean their BO goes away forever. So, and she does have there's a lot of moisture around that area. There's a lot of chunk and a lot of hair, and then if she has, any kind of weird thing about her body, like if it really does have this place, like the vet had told me, where like a lip kind of area that held things in, like she goes pee and then it gets in that area and it doesn't come out and get clean. So I don't know, I just need to get some wipes and clean every day or something. That's what they told me when she was a puppy, but now she's a big lady. So it's one thing with a little puppy. But okay, are you gonna lay down, because I don't want you to knock this cord? Oh, she's cute. But except if she knocks that cord, then I'm very irritated. So anyways, so this guy's video, he is somebody who hires people. So he has some business, and he says that he had a candidate or somebody who had applied for a job, but then he went and looked on their Facebook, and he saw that they were MAGA or something. And so he was like, I'm not hiring her because of that. And he said, he was like speaking to the rest of the businesses, and the rest of you need to do the same thing. We need to freeze these people out. We need to not let them have jobs and stuff like that. Which to me, all I can see is restaurants that had signs up, whites only. Which this true movie I watched yesterday, it was so fucking pissed me off, fuck off. the race stuff, man, I swear to God, I mean, there's a reason why people felt like there was racist. There's fucking horrible racist people out there, and they just hate because of the color of somebody's skin. And this movie was like, I think it was the 70s. I don't think it was the 90s. I think it was the 70s. It was in New York, and it was these one family, or these people who were from the Bronx or something, and they went into Queens or Brooklyn or wherever they were. It was primarily black people, but it wasn't Harlem. And then they were driving, their car broke down, so they were trying to get to a phone because we didn't have cell phones back then, and you'd have to go find a payphone. So they had to get out of their car and start walking. Well, then they're in Queens, which was primarily white people, and these young kids, and only 4 or 5 of them went to court. And 4 of them made it to court. One of them told on the other ones. But in the group that really was the perpetrators, it was like 20 of them. It was disgusting. And it was 3 black guys, a dad and 2 sons. One of them may have been the son and his friend, but it was his stepson. So they're walking, and these drunk-ass kids decide that they're going to attack them. And they had all sorts of, like, pipes and bats and shit like that, and start surrounding them. And so they take off running, and they run the one that got killed, they ran him into the freeway, and then he got hit by a car. And then the other ones, but see, it may have been the 90s then, because maybe it was the case that they were using, because you always have to go back to look for case law, and the case they were using may have been from the 70s in Chicago, where this same thing happened, where this group of white people chased these 3 black guys. It was the same kind of thing. Chased these black guys into a tunnel, and then the train came and killed them. But they were, but on the case of like manslaughter or murder too or whatever, because they forced them into a place where there was no other alternative, where they were going to get killed. So then it was like, it came back on them. So they were using this case law to push on this one, because they had pushed him into a corner where he got killed because he got hit on the freeway. So it was either be beaten to death by these guys or be killed. But they also, one of the guys got away, but the other one, the dad, he once this kid got hit, then they took off and started chasing the other one. And it was these big groups too. It was so creepy. It was like, where's your fucking white robe, you fucking weirdos? And then they did. They were just beating him and hitting him. He ended up having like 66 stitches in his face, and it was horrible. And then one of them got not guilty, and one of them told on the other, so he didn't get shit. A whole group of them didn't even face charges. And of course, the judicial's all like, "Oh, these are good guys. These are good white boys." I swear to God, I was so disgusted. And then the 4, though, they got charges of I think manslaughter or 2nd-degree murder, but they got like 30 years. I think one got like 15 years, one got 12, one got 30 years. I don't know, because they all looked alike, really. Anyways, it was disgusting. It was so disgusting. And then see this video, this guy, it's the same motherfucking attitude. This segregation, like, keep these people away from us. They're different than us. And so he's sitting there saying, to other businesses, don't hire these red people, only hire blue people. And to me, it's like, then you need to post it. Just like those people who put whites only, you can eat here. Then post it on your fucking business. Put it out there. Liberal owned, liberal driven, only libs, whatever the fuck you want to say. Because we, the people, should all get a no, so we don't support those businesses. Just as they always should have. But there was always a complicit nature in people. And, there would be the one standout who would be like, oh, I'm not going to go eat there. But a lot of people, they kept it so divided that people were really scared of people that were different colors. And when this crime happened, it built so much fucking tension in New York during this time, where it's like they were starting a race war. And then when you hear like the judicial part of it and these judges and these lawyers and stuff, it was like they create these tensions. They do all this fucking shit. It pisses me off, these DAs and all this fucking bullshit. They're where the racism comes from. These motherfuckers. They're the ones who want to keep everybody divided, want everybody to be scared of everybody else. So that just pissed me the fuck off. But back when I was on Nextdoor and stuff, where I was seeing it so much was where it was the same kind of thing, you know, get rid of all of the conservative people. And it was like, but it was a bigger group back then. The liberal side was big. And I was like, so much like, this is what the Yahtzees, this is like, how do these people not recognize when you're trying to isolate and say these people are different than us and they don't belong with us? How can you not see the tension that you create in the segregation, and then also see how that creates the biases where then you don't grow? So you're not willing to hear or meet anybody else who's different than you. They've got to be away from you. That shows your own inabilities, your own weaknesses. That doesn't show that there's something wrong with these people. It shows there's something wrong with you. That's what this guy's out there saying. Yeah, I can't have those people around me. And it's like, you really, really believe in your fucking, like, you obviously believe it in your heart, and I don't know if you have a soul. Well, I mean, they have a soul, but they've turned it off. But that you, using your logic, you really believe that all these people over here support this person who is just RAPIDIST and pedo and all this stuff, which also somebody had said in the comments, like, when I was talking about what I used to believe and now how I believe different, and they were like, well, I think you were right the first time. It's like, that's not how I look at things. I mean, you get it, everybody's free. You're free to free will, go see what you want to see. Whatever you need to see is what you need to see. But the thing is about, you know, logically, this is what gets me, is like our world, we are surrounded by pedos. I mean, they're being taken down right and left all around us, in the judicial and education, in Hollywood, in all these government agencies. The politicians, it's like fucking 98% of them, a bunch of fucking weirdo pervs. And so we're overlooking all of them. Like, I mean, even when people were calling out Joe, and they would be like, oh, he's just a little old man. It's like, oh, okay, but Donald, oh, he's the problem, though. Yeah, that's the only person that you want to focus all the perv on, is that guy. It's like they're fucking popping up all over like a fucking disease, but you just want to focus on this one. If people can't see that that is media manipulation, it's like, don't look over here, just keep looking at that guy. Look at what he does. Look at what he says. It's like, it gets crazy. Like, to me, it just is like using like your logic. Like, think about, like, well, why is all the focus on him when there's all this other stuff going on? And it's, well, I know now. It's because he's trying to do good things, and he's trying to get us out from under the thumb of these fucking corporate monsters. And that is where the corporation took over our judicial, and it took over, it was overriding the Constitution. It was making its own rules. The corporation made its own rules, its own language, its own laws. And so it was all about controlling and containing us for our best interest. They were helping us by controlling and containing us and taking away our freedom. And we would just allow it because we get hung up on there. Well, they're helping us. No, they're not. And then when the one guy comes in and keeps trying to point it out and say it, then they just keep saying, oh, he's a pervert, he's this, he's that. And then these people just keep believing it. It's like, it just is weird. Like, just put things in balance. Like, how is there one person who get all of the hate when there's so many people around you that are doing all of these horrible things. And so it just is wacky. It's wacky. But, you know, people continue to carry on. But then it creates these people who won't even listen to these people. So they won't even give these people a chance to say anything. Because if these people were able to tell these people what they were saying, to me, is when I started listening to them, I started seeing like, oh, their rights are being taken away. I started seeing through the bullshit. So I started hearing what they were saying. It's like, you got to listen to people you think that you don't agree with to figure out that you're the same as them. That's the problem, is these people keep themselves divided. And in order to keep yourself divided and think you're better than other people, you have to put yourself, your ego puts you out here on this pedestal. But you are unwilling to go and hear anybody else's perspective, anybody else's point of view, to the point of segregation and isolation. And which, if we were to do that, if we were to divide out in two different places, just like East Germany, West Germany, or these different places that have done it, the people would start to see like, oh, they're living over here free, and here I am, a slave to this corporation. So it would become clear, and then they would start trying to abandon ship. But they won't. It's like they won't listen. They're so sure that all these people are supporting a criminal. It's like, yeah, and they don't ever stop and question, like, well, maybe it's my media. So it's just really funny now how all of this media influence is coming out, that it's all been paid. They're all paid for propaganda pushers. And so I've been saying for a long time, you got to pay attention to who you believe and what you believe and what they're saying. But it's all everybody else's lessons. It's all these lessons for people to see. But these content creators, whatever their motivation is, which is a lot, it seems to have to do with finances, and I don't know, their inability to question things or just believe what they're told or something. But that is like a karmic debt when they are putting out all this negative energy and all of this divisiveness and all of this hate through propaganda and lies and bullshit. That's all going to come back on them. That's what we consider to be karma. What you put out is going to come back on you. And so all of that stuff is going to, there's a debt, and that money that they received is not going to be worth the debt that they have through the karmic. And then the higher, I have said this before, but the higher their following was. So, I mean, some of these people have in the millions of people that they've been influencing through hate and stuff. But it's also an entanglement, because these people are also entangled with that person. It's a lot to untangle yourself through in this quest to be true to you and to find your sovereignty in order to move forward, to like graduate out of this realm, to get out of this this experience and into, because everybody's going to get out of this experience, but to go into a higher vibration experience, because a lot of them are just going to go into other negative and other low vibration ones. And it's almost like these people who took payoffs to create hate, and it has created violence and stuff. So the ones that have created hate and violence, division and stuff through their own gain of monetary gain, then that is a trap. It's like they're trapping themselves into more having to see the error of their ways. So you got to go through more perspectives, and you got to go through going through more experiences. And so I don't know, some of them have like dug themselves into a deep hole. And it's funny because there's other people who look at them and think, oh, look at, they've got it all going on. Look at, they've got some huge following, they're making money and all that stuff. But it was like they were really digging themselves a hole. And that's the part where things flip suddenly. And all of a sudden you see the truth. And it's going to be these people that seem like that they were doing really well and making it. And it's going to all of a sudden flip and go the other way. It's like, no, really, they were just digging themselves into a deeper hole. You know, another thing, too, that I'm really, really so sick of is these people that get these girls, especially this Huda girl, constantly, oh, she's a beautiful girl. She's a beautiful girl. Well, I'm not saying that she was homely or ugly, but she looked like a regular person when she was younger. And then she started doing all of this surgery on her face. And it's weird, too, because you look at, like, her younger pictures and you look at her older pictures. It's like, what did she do to her face? How did she change it so much? Like, did she get, like, a part of her, something added onto her face? Can a nose job make that much difference? Like, I don't even know what all she's done to her face. But for people to keep on going like, oh, she's so beautiful, she's so beautiful. That is a surgically enhanced face. How in the world can we sit there and be in a world where we're going to put people who have to go in and change their face surgically, put them on a pedestal, and then all the people who are just natural to say, oh, they are, they just look weird. It's like our priorities are all fucked up. It's so weird. Honey, why don't, see, she's just uncomfortable. She lays very long in one position, she's not comfortable. She's gonna go walk. She's gonna go walk over there. She's gonna look outside. She's gonna come back, get a drink. But I gotta just quit being such a wreck when she cries, because it just feeds into my like my anxiety or something. Still, what do you want me to do, honey? You need to just come over here. I'm almost done. Just come over here and sit down, or lay over there. And then she always just wants to eat. That's her solution to everything. Just feed me some more food, makes me happy. And then that doesn't help. So you're not going to eat more right now, because it makes her more heavy, and then that's more weight on her hips and her joints. I'm so sick of them poisoning us, I swear to God, because I know it's affecting her. She's got all this on both her front paws. She's got all these little lumps all over the place, which I'm sure it's fucking toxins coming out of her skin. Anyways, but to sit here and elevate people, like, that's the solution, is to go get surgery on your face so that you can look better and then you can be beautiful. It's like, I don't know. I think that we need to start calling it out what it is. Oh, she's a surgically enhanced face. But, and then plus when it's a trend, like, you know, if it completely changes, or is everybody going to be looking at her going like, oh, she's so beautiful, or is she just going to look like old fashioned? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. The whole thing is weird. It's never been so much like this before. This is all like, has all been going. It's like we've been going on the stairs to get there. It's like we've been going on, like I see like the Statue of Liberty and climbing the stairs, this long climb to get to the top. And then it's like, but where we've reached is such a, it is like an illusion. It is like looking out and not seeing things clearly. And to sit here and to like perpetuate this fakeness instead of learning how to just love yourself and like yourself. And you don't have to look perfect to be beautiful. You have to feel beautiful inside. You have to feel your own value. And that's not to say like, oh, well, I mean, everybody is beautiful in their own way. You can see people that have a really strange looking face, but there's something just beautiful about it. So it's not, I swear, it has more to do with what's inside, but people are not working on what's inside. They're working on the surface. And then we get stuck on the surface, and all these girls are, oh, she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. Well, I guess for $50,000, you can be beautiful too. You want to go in and let some doctor cut your face up, but then it doesn't work out for everybody. That one poor girl, and which she's not the only one. There's a lot of surgical mishaps. Depends on what you're here to experience. And a lot of people, you're here to experience, to learn to love yourself, not to go chasing this fucking thing. And, like Huda's experience, whatever her thing is, it's going to be more clear, when you are, I don't know, when you're just fake and superficial, then, I don't know. The whole thing is like this, the fake, superficial, artificial world is going to implode. And if that's all the substance you have is superficial and shallow and surface level, then it's going to be like a kick in the gut. And then when you start to reconsider yourself, like your soul comes on in your communication, and then you kind of like start seeing the error of your ways, and seeing that it's like seeing something so differently, just like how these influencers, who are influencing people in the wrong way, but they're getting paid for it. They're going to see, like I said, it's like people think they're rising to the top, but really they're just digging a hole for themselves. And it's the same thing. These girls who, are trying to role model other girls into being as fake and shallow and superficial as they are. And we have such a huge part of our society that is so fake and so superficial and so shallow. It's like, but, the thing about it is, well, you get tons more lives to go and learn your lessons, to go in and figure it out for yourself. So it's not like this is your only shot, where in religion they try and push that on you. This is your only shot. And because right now there's all this prophecy happening. Oh my God. It gives me like a stab in my heart every time. Come here and I'll give you some more medicine. I'm going through this fucking medicine so fucking fast. That's CBD stuff from Amazon. Come over here. Stella, I'm not giving you more food right now. I'm right in the middle of this. When I finish this. Lady. Stella, you cannot be hungry. You just ate. You just don't feel good. You just got to come and lay down. Maybe she's running out of water. She could be, sometimes there has been that where she's crying at me because she's out of water. If you're out of water, I'll give you some more in a minute. I'm almost done. Okay, so this prophecy shit. So there's a lot going on the changes. And there's stuff that he's talking about. So in DC now they cleaned it up and there really is being no crime. And so there's all these governors that are saying, well, we're not letting him come in here. He's not entering our city. He's not going to enter our state and take over. Like they're doing the people a favor or something. And so whatever is going on in Chicago, he's made reference to, like 3 people being killed in a night, and they're trying to keep us out from going in and fixing these things because they don't care about the people and stuff. So he tries to point it out, but you got all these other people are just like, yeah, he's not taking over. Fuck him. It's like, oh my God, you guys are so, Jesus Christ. And so, but what he keeps trying to point out is what they're trying to keep him from doing, fixing things. And yeah, because they want our cities to be overrun with criminals and crime, because that's where they make money and kickbacks, and they keep the human trade industry rocking. So so we got a lot of stuff going on with that. A lot of stuff with these executive orders where they are making changes. They're taking down all these institutions and company, whatever, these branches that need to be trimmed because they are there to just create dependency and keep people trapped. And then they are, there was something else I was seeing. keeping the people trapped on the dependency. The, shoot, what was the other thing? There was something else that came in when I was seeing that. But anyways, so he's trying to take down these institutions that are corrupt, that they're a part of this laundry system. And so, but that just pisses these people off, because the way they look at it, these are things that are there to help the poor, but really they're there to drag people into poverty and to keep them trapped there. And so, he's getting rid of those, but he's going to bring us up to a level where we don't have poverty anymore, because they're creating poverty, and then they're creating people to stay in poverty. And so I just saw a girl crying where she was like, something about her housing or something, and she couldn't find a place to live. And housing, I don't remember the whole thing, but she's trying to go to school and go to work. She's a single mom, and the way that they keep people trapped, it's like, you can't go to school, you can only work part-time, they keep you where you cannot ever get out of their trap in order to be able to survive while you're in the thing, but they try and keep you there. And so it's just a bunch of bullshit that keeps people trapped in poverty, and that's why it's got to go, and that's why he's getting rid of it. Not because he doesn't like poor people, he doesn't want anybody to be poor. He wants to help everybody have money. And so that is the changing us out of this monetary system that we are currently on, because it's a debt system to keep us trapped. And so the things that are going on with the debt calculator, and the changing over to this new system, and the stuff in the XR, that whole thing, and there's a lot of signs where we can see things are on the move. We're on the move to these big changes that are coming. He's going in, he's cleaning up the cities. And so there's a lot of stuff going on about that. And then also, there's in D.C., so they went in and cleaned up all this stuff, and he has been making references, that these people aren't real people, that they are, they've been gone for a long time, and he'll do stuff like that. Which I've been saying for a long time. There's a lot of these people that were taken out way back in 2020, and then we had to go through Joe, and then now we're to the point where we're going to find out that they were taken out. And I think they're going to come to the surface about, Joe was a guy in a mask. It wasn't really Joe. And it's going to make people feel foolish, because most people can't even wrap their heads around it. It's a guy in a mask. It's like, it's so obvious. And then there's reports now, or there's a CIA whistleblower or whatever, that has come out and talked about the disguising and the masks and how long they've been using them. So it's a whole fucking thing. And and Donald has been saying and making reference to, like, they're gone. And Kamala, Joe, Hillary, Barack, all these different people. But so right now, he's gone in to clean up D.C., which a lot of those people, I think, have been taken down. And because it was the thing was 98% of them were involved in crimes that are against human beings. And so which is a thing, and they're also RICO and stuff like that. So there's certain crimes that they're all participating in, and they all are penalty. And they brought back the squad, and so and besides the squad, I think that there's another. It's not just that you have to meet the squad. There's other ways out. But they've brought that all back. That's when you are met with the guilty of these charges, that's your thing. You're not going to go sit in prison while the taxpayers pay for you to sit there and watch TV for the rest of your life. Nope. You're out. You're out of the game. And so But the but there is a lot of people in these. I mean, because they had to add on to the get. They had to build a whole nother alligator Alcatraz, alligator alley. Because hot topic there. And so, because all these people believe that he's just rounding up immigrants and putting them in there to feed them to the alligators. So, but I just think it's going to be so funny when they really realize that it's the politicians getting filled up in there. Because I think they're going to have a very different attitude about, oh, don't feed them to the alligators. That's so mean. I think they're going to be like, feed those fuckers to the alligators. So maybe that's going to be the whole thing. The floor's going to open and they're going to go down in a swamp and they're going to go where they belong. Flush that toilet. So the alligators, oh, because in DC right now, if you go look, I think it was somebody looking on Zillow or something, all these houses are for sale now. It's like all the houses in DC. And they were like, these are politicians' houses and stuff. These are all like, these aren't cheap houses. These are all really expensive houses. It's just suddenly overnight. It was like, they're all for sale. But that's going to be the money that, I don't know that people are going to be going and buying them. I mean, I don't know if it's part of the show or whatever, but all of the assets, and maybe it's going to be, well, Donald's going to buy them all, and then that money is going to be a part of the gold that's going to go back to the people, because all of the money that is confiscated from all these people who have been, making money off of our fall and our sickness and all that stuff, that goes back to us. So it's a transfer of wealth. So there's this huge transfer of wealth that's about to happen, and it's coming in hot. And then there's a whole thing about the Hopi prophecy. And besides the mirrors, the time of mirrors, there was more to it. And it was like, when you go and listen to that, it's like, oh, see, we're right there. And it is a kind of a thing, too, of like, the people at the top are about to go to the bottom, because like I said, it's like it looks like they're rising, but really they're digging their own hole, because they're in the upside down. And so so we're going to see that. There's this big flop, this big flipping of people who seem like that they had it all going on, people who seem like they had power and money. It's going to flip. And then but there's this whole prophecy thing going. Like, I heard this girl doing this whole breakdown, but her thing is really religious. And it has to do with the real. It has to do with days and time and numbers and stuff. And so this September 22nd, 23rd situation, which is in all these movies as being the end, it is in this numerology, all this number stuff. It is something about the real, and like labor pains to this period of time where it's like I think it's like the fall. I think it's like the fall of the real. I don't think it's, I think they fall. Just like, they're digging their own hole, and they're not rising to the top. They're digging their own hole. And so there's something about that. But she was given all of these different things out of biblical prophecy or whatever. That was, but it was still the same kind of thing with the numbers. But see, she said that after the 22nd or 23rd, that's when the tribulation starts. But to me, the tribulation would be the people's own souls, their own. But there's also going to be reaction, because when you go through the grief, the grief, there's steps to work through grief. So whatever it's called, the steps of healing grief. But one of them is anger. And so there is going to be some, I've said this for years, there's going to be a huge anger that's going to come out from the people. And there's going to be, I always see the biggest one is coming from the people who had people close to them who have died over the last few years, and with the corruption through the medical. And that, to me, is going to be the breakdown, the takedown of the medical, because it is, people are going to see, and there's, like, I think there's going to be, like, doctors that were pushing these on their patients and stuff, and then their family members keeled over, then, and they, there was nothing, but then when the truth comes out, and they see, that is going to be like, some of these doctors are going to be running for their lives. Some of these institutions, like it's already started, where these people have gone in and started raising hell in some of these places. There's even something that went at the C and the D and the other C, and there's even some shenanigans that have been going on there. Somebody went in with one of these or something, took, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going. That, to me, would be the tribulation, is going to be the battle towards the corporate overlords, the ones in charge, the ones that were getting kickbacks and making money off of killing us. So those ones are going to have the anger, because it's a part of the grief cycle. When the anger comes out, it's going to be directed towards these people. And so, so it's just not going to be just like it's everybody. But whatever the battles are that people have with each other, it's their stuff. There's a lot of things that are individual, even though it's going to like go as a collective, but it's a lot of stuff. It's like, just because it happens over there doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. That's one thing, is people just are always like thinking, oh, well, that's going to happen. It's like, no, it's very designed for your own experience. And so just because something happens for one person doesn't mean it's going to happen for everybody. And each thing is very distinct events. And so but all the things that she was saying, it was like a lot of stuff she was pointing out. I don't remember, but there was a lot of things with numbers, and if you add this and you add that, and you put this number and you put that number, and then 777, there's a lot of things with sevens. And then this is gonna be the 77th anniversary of the real or something. I don't know. I can share it if somebody, but what I was getting out of it was more of like, it's all coming together. Like, that's why, just, to me, it was always, it's when you start having a lot of crossover. So when you start having a lot of crossover, like, this is going here, this is going there, they're seeing it, it's like, it's all separate things, but they all start coming together. And that's what it seems like right now. It's like all these different things are all coming together. And so it does seem like that, I don't know, a lot of stuff could go down this weekend. A lot of stuff could go down today. A lot of stuff can go down this weekend. And it's so crazy. This is like right when I'm going to go start traveling. And my daughter is going to go and travel. And it's like, fuck, man. And my one daughter's right over there on the motherfucking coast. My granddaughter. It's like, fuck, man. It's intense. This whole thing is intense. Even though death isn't real, loss is real. When you go through loss, that's real. And, but, it's all for a reason. And then I think a lot of people are going to go through a lot of loss, because not everybody's going to the same place. It's going to be a separation in realities. And I don't know the walkthrough, because, this has been a slow process. So I'm going to think it's going to continue as a slow process for a while. And, but there's going to be a point in time when we all separate and everybody goes into different places. And so, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It seems like it's really important to really, really get it into your mind that death isn't real. When you're going to be facing a lot of loss, that this is really, it's the same as a dream. And that just because, think about it in your dreams, these people come in and out of your dreams, in and out of your dreams. You don't wake up and start crying because you're never going to see them again. So we got to get more into that, like, realization. It's like, No, we come in and out of each other's dreams forever. It doesn't, we're there with each other forever. Like, we're all part of the same thing. We don't really ever lose each other. It's just a sense of loss for learning, because you do learn through loss. And it makes you think about a lot of things. It makes you look at yourself, and guilt and shame and time and what you did. And it's crazy too, because when somebody dies, you focus way more on, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done this. I should have spent more time with them. I shouldn't have ever said that. It just makes you have a deep self-reflection. And so you learn a lot through loss. So it's not a punishment, but it is an experience. And it's an experience that you learn a lot about yourself. And so I guess put it into the perspective of what it really is. And don't get so caught up in the concept of death, because death isn't real. You don't really die. This character that you create is constantly dying. I mean, I'm not the same person I was when I was, I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago. That person died. The person who I went into the hospital, she never came out of the hospital. So you have little deaths throughout your life. Otherwise, you never change. She's very dramatic. There we go. Why don't you just lay down, okay? I'm going to plug the light back in. Just a minute. Okay, now you're sitting on the cord. Oh, my God. Oh, God, sometimes I just want to scream. Hold on. I'm going to plug it back in. Hold on. Stella, why don't you... I don't know what you want from me. Seriously. I can't make everything fucking perfect. And when you interrupt me and you disrupt me like this, it just look at how much time it adds on. Because look now what I gotta do. Trying to get this thing back again. Damn it. It's so irritating. I swear to God, everything's so fucking tense. I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, there's like a plug way over there. I've got extension cord, and this is all the way. It's like, I don't even know. There's a plug up in the ceiling, but I'd have to be extension cords to get up to that one. It's like, I don't even know. Everything is like, God, I'm just so fucking burnt out on shit. Fuck. But still, I mean, it wasn't where I should have just kept paying my house and being a little fucking slave. I had to break free. But when you break free, you're still... Like, I saw another guy. He's always out doing spiritual videos and stuff like that. And I didn't know he was homeless. And he was saying, like, he's homeless. But he said he had to let go of all the things. And I was like, fuck, I'm homeless too. Yeah, I agree. It's like, you just have to let go of everything. Otherwise, you just feel trapped. And that may not be everybody's experience, but it is for some of us. Some of us, we were very provoked or promoted or very in alignment with letting go of everything because it was holding us back. So we had to let go of it. And that whole thing, it was great when I was there. It taught me a lot. It was great. I learned a lot of independence. I learned a lot about myself. And so I always will have good things about it. And I do still, like, throughout the day, things will come to me like, oh man, I didn't get that. I left that. That's gone. Just the things, of me fixing that place up. And it's just gone. But I have to really remind myself, well, you can't take anything with you. We're in a constant state of change. We're always moving. And so it's, I mean, do you want to be stagnant? Do you want to never grow? Do you want to stay the same? Do you want to stay at the same place all the time? And so, which we can be fine. I'm not saying people who stay in the same place that they're wrong or something. We're all on different journeys. And so in my journey, though, it has been, from the time I was little. It was like it was hard when I was a kid because we had to change schools all the time. And you never get to have the same friends. It was always moving, changing schools, never any kind of structure, any kind of roots. Any, it was just like, I don't know, it was very chaotic. But it kind of has been my life the whole time. But it is like a pace. It's like a pace, and there's lessons. It's not like things are wrong. It's like you just have to learn from what it is. Like wherever you're moving through life, you're moving at a certain speed or a certain vibration or a certain pace so that you can experience and learn from the experience. Everything is about this experiencing and learning from it, and reflecting, looking at yourself, understanding yourself, and not judging yourself. And that's what I cannot stand about that fucking religious music. It's just like, judge yourself, hate yourself, you're unworthy, you're not worth anything, you're garbage. And then other ones are just, besides the ones telling you that, then you have other ones just thanking Jesus for saving him and taking him from being such a piece of garbage. It's just like this shit's going round and round and round. And I said something about it on TikTok when I came back. I was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. It's like brainwashing you into believing that you are worthless. And I did some TikTok, like, how can that be, good for you? And one God, like if you think of God, the Father, being a parent, then isn't non-conditional love is the purest of love? But then you're sitting there saying, but this God character that you're trying to please is very conditional over his love. So how is that the purest love? How is that the love of the Father? Like it's like sitting at this whole fucking victim mentality and beat down on you. And it just plays into it. It's just a part of it, man. So anyways, when I posted that, somebody comes on, oh, well, it's not all like that. Not all religious music like that. This is the fucking religious station in Spokane. It's called Spirit Radio or something. And it goes all fucking day. And it's like, I've listened to it for for hours and hours now, for a few weeks. And it's always the same fucking shit. But yesterday, because I was sitting there combing that dog, it wasn't just blow drying right there. It was right next to the radio and combing and doing all this shit. And I was like, oh my God, it's just like, brr, brr, brr. Worthless, you're worthless, you're worthless. It's like, oh my God, I just can't even fucking believe it. So, anyways, that's, oh God, I'm just uncomfortable. I feel tense. But it feels like, it's like the balloon being blown and blown and blown, but it's about to pop. And when it pops, that's where you got to know, that you're okay. But it's going to be, I don't know, because there's people who have been building themselves up through this on the inside, building up their soul, their character on the inside, while other people have been inflating themselves in the artificial world. But see, it's like I said, it's like these people that seem like they're building themselves up, but they're really digging a hole. And so when things flip, it's going to be very dramatic. Over a lot of changes are going to happen. That was also in the Hopi prophecy thing, where it's going to be this big flip of how we see things. And people who you thought were on top are going to go to the bottom. And people who you thought were, garbage and worthless are going to suddenly be at the top, and you're going to see them very differently. Because it can be people who you considered to be drug addicts, people who were homeless, people who were like all different things. And then all of a sudden they rise. It's like, well, what? How in the hell did that happen? Well, it was because they were putting their energy into where it should have gone. Because you should be putting your energy into you, into your ethics, into your values, into your loving yourself. And that is, like these people who think they're putting their value system into I'm not going to hire anybody who doesn't meet my same value system. But right there, you're creating division. And what world do we want to live in where we're all divided and we all don't recognize that we all want the same thing? That comes from your biases, where you think these people are doing something that they're not doing, but since you don't listen to them, you don't know. So you keep yourself divided because you don't listen to them, because you don't give them value. And oh yeah, that was another thing in that in the Hopi thing. It was when the guy comes in to create change. I can't remember the whole thing, how it was said and written, because it was like old prophecy. But he would be wearing a red hat. I was like, well, isn't that strange? So, but the red movement. What does red represent? Love. And the magnetism, the MAGA, the magnetism is it's like the vibration of pulling in the unity, but the people don't realize that they keep themselves on the outskirt. They keep themselves separated because they judge the ones that are on the inside, because they don't see through clarity, because they see through mind control, because they have a distortion, because they listen to people who are purposely misleading them. And so that is where this whole thing is going to fall apart. And that's where a lot of people, they think that they're so built up on their own ego. But like I said, they think they're building towards the top, but really they're digging their own hole. And they're going to be, however deep they are, it's hard to get out of the hole, because that's where you go into the dark night. That's where you go into the time of seeing these dark sides of yourself, because everybody is digging their own hole. And it depends on how deep they go and how hateful they become, and then how much energy they create around them. Like, they create their own storm by spreading division and hate. And so it's going to be a huge collapse of this energy. It's going to be crazy, because it's just going to be this big flip of how things go. And it is going to be like, just like being in a dark room in night, and somebody comes in and flips the lights on. It's going to be just boom. And so, and we got to be getting close, and there's a lot of buildup. So it's not really, because it really is this flickering of the lights. It's like the lights are flickering, it's going to come on, it's going to come on. But people are just in so much fear, which in Florida, there's a weird fucking noise. I don't even know what the fuck. There's all this stuff in Florida anyways, where they've been saying there's motherships over these bases and stuff like that. But these people got woke up. And I don't even know, how many cities or how many areas it was or whatever, but they got woke up to this really weird sound outside. And so they went outside and started doing video or audio or whatever of it. And I don't even know how to explain it. It was so freaking loud, and it definitely had a cycle sound to it, a repeat, like a sound and a repeat, the same sound over and over and over and over. It definitely sounded kind of mechanical, and but it was so loud. Oh my gosh. So I don't know. There's a lot going, and it just keeps getting, just tons and tons of crazy stuff. There with this thing coming. But anyways, I would just say that this weekend there's going to probably be a lot of stuff going on, and then we should be able to see by Monday or Tuesday what direction. There should be something that comes, a collapse in the money thing, because the housing market's right on the verge of collapse, because of all these houses are going for sale all over the place, and there's nobody to buy them, and people are choosing to live in campers rather than go live in apartments. So they're building all these apartments to try and contain us in them, and taking people's houses away. But it's gonna that's like they're digging their own hole, like the bank's trying to climb, but they're digging their own hole. And so it's all going to flip. So it could very well be that's what starts the whole collapse of the dollar, is the housing market. So that's where we could see a big thing happen over the weekend and Monday and Tuesday. It may not just be come out where he said, oh, well, by the way, we're changing over. We're going to get rid of this money. Could be this big collapse happens. People freak the fuck out. And their houses go to, no value. And then they're going to feel very underwater. Because these people are going to owe like $650,000 on their house. But their house is going to be worth like $20,000. And it's the same thing happened with the cars. This happened with cars at some point. I don't remember, but it was like all these, anybody who goes and tries to go get a new car and use their car as a trade-in knows that you're underwater in your car. It's fucking just bullshit. And so you drive off the lot and your car goes down, and then you're paying interest. So you're paying $50,000 on this car that has a worth of $6,000 when you go try and change it back over. So it's bullshit all the motherfucking time. Then they add that $45,000 onto your other loan, and it's insane. It's insane how they do all their fucking shenanigans with their money. But anyway, so that's about to go on the housing thing, because that was a part of the whole thing, was the reevaluation of the housing, where housing is going to go way down. So that could be the big collapse that happens first, and then it's like, well, what are we going to do next? Well, he's got the solution. We're going to change over the money. We're going to get out of debt. We're going to let go of all of this, and we're going to move in a new direction. And so we'll just see how it plays out. But I would say that over this next few days, we should see some significant things start to happen that will, I don't know, I think you look at it more as peaceful, of like, okay, we can rest assured things are really happening now, because there's been fucking years of like, I hope, maybe this, maybe that. But I think we're finally to the point of things really moving in our favor. So we can, we could say we only hope, but I really think that now is this time where things are really moving in our favor. It just is like, we don't know how it's going to go. We don't know how long it's going to take, or we don't know what all is going to go in the play out of it. But it's all going to lead us at some point to seeing who the criminals are. And that's going to be a shocker for a lot of people, because they think that this guy is apparently the only criminal in this whole fucking world. And all their focus goes on him. And it's like, they're all around you, everywhere. They're teaching your kids in school. They're pulling you over, giving you tickets. They're the judges you sit before. They're the attorneys that take you in to represent you. They're everywhere. So it's like all over the place. They're the ones that come out to protect your kids. They're the ones that you donate money to. It's like, so anyways, but the truth's coming out. That's going to be the thing. And that's what's going to flip so many people's worlds upside down. And they're going to realize they were digging themselves a hole instead of building themselves up. But where you want to build yourself up is internal. Meeting you, being true to you, finding yourself, being authentic, being real, standing for your real values, even if the whole world is looking down on you. And don't be a debt slave if you don't want to be a debt slave. I mean, anybody who wants to be, that's your, you get to choose. This is all about our own choices and stuff. And there's a lot of people who are kind of just like sitting pretty and aren't going to mess with it. It's like, but it wasn't that we all had to do the same thing. We just had to follow our own passion. And whatever yours is, you have to come in alignment with it. You have to realize who you are and what you're doing and why you're doing it and stuff. So anyways, let's look at this situation. If we've got more growth, I'm telling you, my eyelashes sure the fuck aren't growing. It's so weird too. It's like I've always had short eyelashes. They never have grown and gotten really thick or anything. My fingernails, I don't know, maybe I've just always had some kind of mineral deficiency, or maybe they're just not supposed to grow real long or something. Maybe, I don't know. I have some, who fucking cares? Seriously, we sit here and worry about shit that doesn't fucking matter at all. It makes no fucking difference in our world, but we focus on it. Who gives a fuck? It's like, who gives a fuck? You got short lashes, long lashes, you got blonde eyebrows, you got black eyebrows. I mean, some of these girls are gone so into eyebrows, they're fucking Groucho Marxing their face. It's just the weirdest thing. Like, everything is so weird and out there. Everything's weird and out of balance. It's like so strange. But anyways, I'm sick of this thing. Just keeping up with how it's healing. But anyways, to me, through all this stuff, that has been my focus, is working on healing my soul, being true to me. And to me, being true to yourself is finding yourself, finding the side of yourself that you were hiding from everybody, and the side of yourself that you turned off so you could please others. So no matter, if you're the narcissist or you're the do-gooder, because the narcissist is their anger and their control comes from them own selves being hidden away too. They're not being true and authentic. They're not being their real selves. They're being this angry bully who has to control others in order to feel safe. It's like, you got to go into the world and find you. I don't know, like, you are your own life preserver. You're your own safety net. And the part of becoming your own safety net is kind of detaching from the things that you worry about, the judgment that you feel by others, and letting go of it. Don't get caught up in it. Don't feel consumed by it, because it will eat you up and you will be lost in it. And so on the journey to finding yourself, it's like meeting, to me, it's like going back and meeting your inner child, that inner child work, going back and finding the kid that you came in to be, and then replaying, going through and re-evaluating all the things that happened to you and turning yourself in a new direction, and finding, that it's okay to be weird. It's okay, Anybody who's trying to not be weird, they've got issues. Like, honestly, if you're too scared to be weird, then something's wrong with you. Like, or you're too uptight. So, anyways, that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts of the day. But we better get started on this day, because I got a lot to do. Gotta go see if I get my car serviced before I go on these fucking road trips. I gotta take care of my little my whiny ass bitch here. So, she's such a precious, though. I love her, even though she stresses me the fuck out. So, anyways, just remember, because if you want to feel good in life, I swear to God, it all starts with learning how to love yourself, giving yourself value, loving yourself, and knowing that you're important. Be important to yourself. Even if nobody else thinks you're important, be important to you. So learn how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody, and learn how to have the day you want to have, because it is truly up to you. So talk to you tomorrow, and we will see how this weekend goes. So talk to you later. Bye.